Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today I'm going to be talking about my two favorite OTC penny stocks. Now, traditionally on this YouTube channel, we have followed my Robinhood stock market portfolio, which is more speculative in nature. However, if you guys are looking to buy any of these two stocks I am mentioning today, you'll have to open up a different brokerage account with TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, E-Trade, or the like. You won't be able to buy shares of these stocks because they are on the OTC markets, over-the-counter markets, with Robinhood or HUMBL. Personally, I own shares of both these companies in my Roth IRA with TD Ameritrade, and I think TD Ameritrade works great. Also with the Roth IRA, there's obviously a contribution limit, which limits the amount of money I can put into that retirement account every year. So it is a smaller portfolio of mine, which helps me kind of balance out how much money I'm putting into these stocks. Now, that is a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. These are just my thoughts, opinions, and ideas that I'm sharing in this video, and it's up to you guys to make that buying decision. I personally don't have any more than gamble money in both of these two stocks. I will ride both of these companies to zero, or I will ride them to $100 per share. Penny stocks are just more speculative in nature. It's just the way they are. There's generally a reason that a stock is a penny stock, and the markets aren't respecting those companies. However, there is the chance you find the diamond in the rough, so to say. Even think back to Amazon in its inception. It at one point was a penny stock. And to think that if I bought shares of Amazon when it was a penny stock, and right now the stock price is over $3,000 per share, think about the investment return you could have gotten by buying Amazon. So the risk-reward ratio with these stocks is pretty ridiculous. You have that chance to make a ton of money on these stocks, but there's also just as likely a chance that these stocks go back down to zero. However, with my personal investment philosophy, and I've done a video on this in the past, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. And you can also hit the I in the top right-hand corner. But I am very strict in what I look for with my investments, regardless of whether it's a penny stock, a blue chip company, or a dividend stock, for all I care. But with penny stocks in particular, I view it very, very important that you find a management team, and in particular, a CEO that has his head screwed on straight. Because to make it out of the rough and to become a diamond, the management team, the CEO, the people in charge of that company has to have a vision and has to have a drive that most other CEOs, most other management teams don't have. So these two stocks I'm talking about today, in my personal opinion, have top-notch management teams and top-notch CEOs. The first stock I'm going to talk about in this video is actually one that I have owned for quite some time now. I've even done some videos in the past on this company. Again, there will be links to those videos down in the description below. And the second stock I'm going to talk about today is one that I've only owned for about a month and a half or 2 months now. But it's in an industry that is going to boom over the next decade. And until I had bought into this stock, I didn't have any stocks in my portfolio that were a direct play into this industry. So I'm sure a lot of you watching this video already know what that first stock is. However, it is kind of one of my more secret plays, I guess you could say, where I haven't covered the stock that much on my YouTube channel, and not a lot of my viewers know that I've owned this stock for so long. I'll even put up one of my old StockTwits posts where I posted about this penny stock when it was less than 2 cents a share, I think, or somewhere around there. It's kind of crazy to think back on that StockTwits post and realize I didn't post that long ago, and this stock is at 96 cents per share split adjusted. The stock I'm talking about is HUMBL, ticker symbol HMBL. Now, the CEO, Brian Foote, absolutely has his head screwed on straight. The amount of drive and the passion this guy has is kind of ridiculous. For those of you that might be new to this stock, again, I recommend you go watch my old videos on the company, but this is one of the best investments you can make if you are curious about NFTs and other digital assets. HUMBL is really disrupting the fintech space. And again, the hours this management team puts into making their products and services work is kind of ridiculous. Now, just like the second stock I'm going to talk about, HUMBL has a lot to prove yet. However, we can piece together the things we know and make a judgment that this penny stock might be quite a bit different from all of the other penny stocks. This is really a prime example of the reward you can get with investing in penny stocks that I was talking about if you find the right company. Because again, I was talking about this stock when it was less than 2 cents a share, and now split adjusted, it's over 96 cents per share. However, the stock price has been in decline, and this again is something that you can attribute to it being a penny stock. Particularly with penny stocks, there is a lot of FOMO. Once a penny stock starts taking off and gaining traction, more and more people see that stock and they get FOMO, or fear of missing out, and buy into that stock, sending the stock price even higher. With HUMBL, we really don't know how to value the company because we have not seen any financials. So a lot of that FOMO was just blind faith that what the management team and what the CEO was doing was going to work. Obviously, over time, we've seen these services and products that HUMBL offers catch on, but there is still a lot for this company to prove. In particular, just recently, HUMBL released ETXs globally. This was a big deal, and it's very evident that the ETXs are catching on. They had to upgrade their servers dramatically because of the demand for the ETXs. For those of you that are unfamiliar with ETXs, HUMBL is one of the first to do it. You can think of it as an ETF-styled blockchain investment. Consumers will pay a fixed fee every single month to allow HUMBL's AI bots to run their cryptocurrency portfolios. Now, the reason this is needed is because unlike stocks, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum trade 24/7 and even on holidays. So unless you're a freak of nature and can be awake for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, there's going to be times where you can't track what Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies are doing. This is even amplified some more when you consider how volatile Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are currently. While you're asleep, Bitcoin could crash $5,000 or Ethereum could crash, and you won't know anything about it. But if you allow HUMBL's AI bots to control your cryptocurrency portfolio, they can take advantage of those swings where they will sell out at the highs and buy the other cryptocurrencies that are lower and keep your cryptocurrency portfolio balanced. With the evidence we have seen, these consumers that use this service well over recoup that monthly fee to allow these bots to manage their cryptocurrency portfolios. HUMBL has also been expanding its NFT business segment by getting different baseball players like Nelson Cruz involved. So all in all, it's a pretty cool company that has tremendous upside. Obviously, the share price has gone up a lot already, but I think it could just be the beginning of the upside of this company. It all depends on their international expansion, as well as if these ETXs continue to catch on with consumers and investors. Again, if you want more baseline information on this company, HUMBL, I've done videos in the past that give more of a general overview of the company, so I highly recommend you go watch those videos if this investment sounds interesting to you. The second stock I'm going to talk about is a stock in the booming cannabis industry. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube without getting demonetized, but I don't really care. I'm just going to say cannabis, and if I get demonetized, I get demonetized. Just like the first stock I talked about, this is gamble money only to me. I will be invested in this stock whether it goes to $0 or to $100 per share. This one I've been invested in for a shorter amount of time than with HUMBL or TSNP previously. I've only been invested in this stock for around a month and a half to 2 months. This stock is G-Tech Holdings, ticker symbol GGTTF. So in the cannabis space, there are hundreds of companies, if not thousands of companies trying to make it. So what we really need to look for in a cannabis investment is, again, that management team and CEO that has their head screwed on straight, but also we need to look for what competitive advantage, what are they focusing on that all of the competitors are not focusing on that will set them apart from their competition. With G-Tech Holdings, it all starts with the fact that they are focused on premium brands of cannabis. I personally don't know much about the industry or the product, but what I do know is there are hundreds of companies out here that are focusing on volume in sales, and they don't necessarily have a product that separates their company away from other companies. So because G-Tech Holdings is focused more on these premium brands, that's why I really fell in love with this investment. Something else that separates G-Tech Holdings from a lot of these other cannabis investment possibilities out there is their balance sheet. With a lot of these OTC stocks or these cannabis investments, their balance sheets look like crap. And I'm not just saying that to say it and sound funny. They actually look like crap. With GTech Holdings, they actually have cash to allow them to continue to research and develop, as well as expand their product line on top of acquiring new businesses or other products. Just recently, the company basically told us that they have plans to expand internationally, and if the United States does federally legalize cannabis, I have no doubt that this Canadian-based company will step into the United States markets. I personally have listened to the CEO talk in interviews several times, just like I did with Brian Foote before I made an investment into the company. The guy clearly has his head screwed on straight, and I am willing to trust him with my money that he will put that money to good use and in turn provide me with really good investment return. In 2020, they had over 200% revenue growth year over year, and they turned a net loss in 2019 to a net profit in 2020. In my personal opinion, I think that GTech Holdings will probably deliver triple-digit revenue growth year over year again in 2021, which would be tremendous. Only a handful of companies out there in the stock market can deliver you triple-digit revenue growth year over year. And if you're invested in that handful of companies and they're going to turn a net income instead of a net loss, chances are your investment is going to return you lots and lots of money. The last thing that I want to mention that I am personally really excited about is that they launched their e-commerce website just recently. Now, you might wonder, why in the world would they do this so soon? There are very limited markets where cannabis is actually legalized. So what is the benefit of having an e-commerce website? Well, the benefit of doing that is that they will already have an established platform for e-commerce when new international markets open up. This also will allow them to keep their production costs and operating expenses relatively low. They won't need to acquire new production facilities in all these different countries when you can just ship the product from their production facilities that they already have. Now, that doesn't mean they won't acquire new production facilities if they want to grow even faster, but it's just something to think about. They can keep their operating expenses extremely low if this e-commerce website catches on. Currently, GTech Holdings has 3 available products, of which the most popular is one called Black Market. The company is also developing 2 new brands that will be available for purchase sometime this year. So as time goes on, what investors, in my opinion, need to look for with this company, GTech Holdings, is that they continue to expand not only internationally, but also continue to expand their product line. This company really has a good chance of being a dominant player in the space because they're already starting their foothold with e-commerce and also international sales. When looking at the financials of this company, it's the same story. The stars are aligning for this stock to work, for this stock to win. We need the management team and the CEO to continue to execute and continue to have that drive that they have shown over the past few years. It's the same case with HUMBL HMBL. We want the management team not to step off the accelerator. If anything, we want them to step on the accelerator even more. So with that, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. These were my 2 favorite OTC penny stocks currently. I am personally invested in both of them in my Roth IRA portfolio with TD Ameritrade. If you guys are new here or returning and not yet subscribed, be sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. It will help push this video to a new audience or a broader audience. And I think both these stocks could be big winners. Let me know down in the comments below how many shares of each of these companies you either currently own or plan on buying in the future. And with that, guys, I'll be back with a brand new video next week. Peace out.